A Cup Series winner is stepping back into a truck this weekend. No, this isn't a demotion story. This is something way more interesting. Harrison Burton, the same driver who stood in victory lane at Daytona just 2 years ago, is climbing back into a NASCAR truck for the first time in 4 years. And the team that's putting him there is sending a message the entire garage is going to hear loud and clear. Stick around, because what TRICON Garage just did says a lot more about where this sport is heading than most people realize. Here's exactly what's happening. TRICON Garage has tapped Harrison Burton to drive their number cars. 5 truck this weekend at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Burton is currently running full-time in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series with Sam Hunt Racing. Before that, he raced in Cup with the Wood brothers, picking up a win at Daytona in 2024. But before any of that, Burton was a Truck Series guy. 40 career starts, 11 top 5s, 18 top 10s, 6 third-place finishes, and a pole, but 0 wins. That win has eluded him at this level his entire career. Now he's getting one more shot to change that story at a track and in a series where his NASCAR journey actually began. To understand why this move actually matters, you have to go back to where Burton started. He ran full-time in trucks back in 2019. The next year he exploded. 4 wins in the O'Reilly Series, a breakout season that launched him straight into Cup with the Wood brothers. That's the fast track. That's the dream trajectory every young driver in this sport is chasing. But Cup hasn't been a fairy tale for Burton since. Aside from that Daytona win in 2024, results have been inconsistent, and he found himself back down in the O'Reilly Series this season, rebuilding his stock. Now, TRICON is handing him 1 weekend behind the wheel of a truck program that has been a revolving door all year. Corey Heim, Graham Doyle, Adam Andretti, Spencer Davis, William Suelich, Chase Briscoe. That's 6 different drivers cycling through the same seat in a single season. That's not a coincidence. That's a team testing the market, and Burton just became the latest name they're testing. Let's break down what's really going on here, because on the surface, this looks like a nostalgic one-off. Underneath, it's a lot more calculated. First, the strategic angle. TRICON isn't running a rotating cast of drivers in that number rating cast of drivers. 5 truck by accident. Elite programs use flex seats like this to evaluate talent, build relationships, and keep options open for the following season. Every driver who sits in that truck this year is essentially auditioning, whether they realize it or not. For Burton, that changes the entire meaning of this race. This isn't a nostalgia lap. This is a resume builder. A former Cup winner getting a shot to finally close out that career-long gap. A Truck Series win he's chased for 40 starts and never landed. Second, the risk factor. Stepping into unfamiliar equipment after 4 years away is not a low-risk move. Truck racing style, aerodynamics, and racecraft have shifted since Burton last competed at this level. One bad run and it reinforces doubts about whether his Cup struggles were about opportunity or about performance. One strong run though, and it completely flips the conversation heading in to next season. Third, the timing. This comes while Burton is grinding through the O'Reilly Series trying to rebuild momentum. A strong truck performance at IRP doesn't just help this weekend, it becomes a talking point every time his name comes up for future opportunities, whether that's a truck ride, an O'Reilly ride, or even a path back to Cup down the line. Is this smart? For TRICON, absolutely low-risk evaluation with a proven name. For Burton, it's a calculated gamble that could either sharpen his stock or expose more cracks at a moment when NASCAR insiders are already watching his career trajectory closely. Expect a split reaction here. One side of the fan base is going to frame this as a feel-good story. A driver returning to his roots, chasing that elusive first win in the series where it all started for. The other side is going to see it differently. A former Cup and O'Reilly Series winner dropping back into trucks raises an uncomfortable question. Is this a comeback, or is this a signal that his stock has fallen further than people want to admit? Media coverage is likely to lean into the storyline angle. The return to roots narrative writes itself. But inside the garage, expect this to be read as exactly what it is, an audition dressed up as a homecoming. Here's how this could play out. Best case scenario, Burton runs up front all weekend, finally breaks through for that first career truck win, and instantly becomes one of the top storylines in the sport. TRICON takes notice, the industry takes notice, and suddenly his name is back in serious conversation for a full-time ride heading into next season. Worst case scenario, 4 years away from the truck shows, He struggles to find speed, finishes mid-pack, and the story quietly fades by Monday. Just another name in TRICON's long list of drivers who cycled through that seat without making a real impact. Either way, this weekend tells us something real about where Harrison Burton's career stands right now. So here's the real question. Is this a genuine comeback opportunity for Harrison Burton, or is NASCAR quietly telling us his path back to Cup is already closing? Drop your prediction in the comments. Does he finally get that elusive Truck Series win at IRP, or does this end up being just another name in TRICON's rotating door? If you're into real breakdowns like this, not just headlines, but what they actually mean, make sure you subscribe to SportsWire USA, because this storyline is far from over.